I tell her proverbially to get out of Dodge. She's got to leave the city. She has to leave the state. She has to change her hair color. She needs to change her name. She needs to go to the farthest reaches of this country or another country and start a new identity because she's in danger. She is despised by a significant percentage of the American people, and I wouldn't think that her safety uh, is that she is in great danger and that her safety is not assured. I don't think she can go about living a normal life, and I don't think she can let people know where she resides or lives or works. It's dangerous for her, and that's what I'd advise. And I'd set up some mechanism to do that so nobody knew where she was and that she was simply gone forever.
How would you handle? I mean, now the onslaught comes from media outlets that want her interview, who might offer her money. How would you advise her going forward on how to deal with that? How to deal with the media attention? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will be vying for that interview.
Right, but they can't pay her enough money. I mean, she's got two choices. She can make some quick cash and relinquish herself to an interview, and as a result, put herself in grave danger, and she may never live to see the money. I mean, her safety, her health, her welfare is in danger. Somebody's going to do something. She is a pariah. She is believed to have, in the minds of many people, killed her own child. So in that sense, if she wants to set herself up for a fall, she would respond to the media interviews and make herself available, and then she's got to stay around, and people will know where she is. And I don't think she can make enough money. I don't think the media could pay her enough money. So what if they pay her $1 million if she loses her life? And I
Right.
doubt very much that somebody's going to pay her $1 million. But so what if they did? In the meantime, I don't think she'd be able to spend it.
Now, I know this was sort of good fodder for talk shows today. There was some talk of how there's been a notice, I think a notice to appeal. Her attorneys filed a notice to appeal the four lying to police charges that she was convicted of. Clearly, she did lie. We know that. We heard her lie in court. What do you think the legal strategy there is? Why even bother to appeal? Is it to repel other lawyers from coming after her in civil cases?
Well, I guess there's the possibility that they can seek restitution, and I'm not totally familiar with any law in Florida which would allow them to seek restitution on crimes that she was acquitted of. But as to the four misdemeanor counts, they're going to claim that as a result of her lies, they engaged in hundreds of thousands of dollars of man hours searching for a child that she now claims she knew to be dead. So that appeal is probably aimed at that, but I don't think that's serving her very well. I would suggest that she stays out of the criminal justice system entirely and leaves.
Hmm.
I can't imagine why anyone would advise her to stay around and see if she can profit in any way, shape, or form. The publicity can do her no good. None. First of all, she can't get any more publicity than she already has. And second of all, if she subjects herself to any of these interviews, she puts herself, her life in danger. Who would advise her to do that? Only a fool would advise her to do that.
My last question is, she spent, and I don't know if you've had a client in this situation before, where she spent the last 3 years essentially in solitary confinement, 23 hours a day in the cell, and then she gets let out for an hour. How do you assess? I mean, I know you're not a psychologist either, but in situations where if you've had a client like this, how do they leave the prison after they've been in that kind of custody? Is she mentally sound? Has she been compromised?
Well, I think she's compromised to begin with. She wouldn't be in the situation that she's in. And frankly, the situation that she is in is probably not as severe as thousands of people today who exist in prisons all over the United States, including death row in most spending virtually all of her days in court. She hasn't been isolated. She's been around people. She hasn't exactly been subjected to some kind of psychological